Alright, today we're going to do 10-3 day 1 ellipses. And we're going to come up with the equation of ellipses which has the following vertices. We have a vertice at 2, 5, a vertice at 6, 5, a vertice at 4, 10, and a vertice at 4, 0. Now, two things that we need to know, a few things we need to know, but the first thing we always want to know is we want to figure out if we can figure out what the center is. Now, if we look at this, 2 and 5, they have the same y value. So what is in the middle of the 2 and the 6? Well, that would be 4. Hey, what do you know? Right there we have a 4 and a 4. And for the y value, we would want what's right in the middle of the 10 and the 0, which is 5. So, to start us off, we have x minus 4 squared over something plus y minus 5 squared over something else, and we always have this equals 1. Well, how far is it from our center, which is 4, 5, to either one of our values that changes with x? So let's just do from 2, 5. How far is it from 4, 5 to 2, 5? That would be 2, and that would equal the distance we're going in x. And so if we square it, and we get 2 squared equals 4, since that's how far we went left and right, that's going to be under our x. For our y value, how far is it from 4, 5 to 4, 10? That would be 5, and 5 squared is 25. So we have our equation. So here was our equation, and we need to find the two foci at this point. And in order to find the two foci, we know that c squared equals a squared minus b squared. Now the two numbers underneath the fractions are the a squared and the b squared, and we always have a squared be the major axis, which is the bigger number. And the reason why we do that is because if we did it the other way, it wouldn't work out so well. So we got c equals approximately 4.6. So since my center was at 4, 5, and my major axis is on the y value, I'm going to change the y value. So we're going to do 4, 5 plus or minus 4.6. So the first one will be 4, 9.6, and the last one, the second one, would be 4, 0.4. And that would be it. On our next example, we are going to graph x minus 1 squared over 9 plus y plus 2 squared, that was a 9, equals 1. So let's get some information here. The center is 1, negative 2. In the x direction, we are going to go 3. In the y direction, since we don't have anything under there, we're going to pretend like this is a 1. So the square root of 1 is 1. The square root of 9 was 3. And so that's how we can tell which way we're going to move in the x and y direction. So my vertices are going to be, well, if I move in the x direction, 3, I'll be at 4, negative 2, and I will be at negative 2, negative 2. And if I move 1 in the y direction, I will be at 1, negative 1, and 1, negative 3. We always like to figure out the focus. Well, c squared equals 9 minus 1, so c squared equals 8, which is, when you square root both sides, c is about 2.8. So we got this information that we want to know so that we can graph it. Let's not forget that the focus is in the x direction this time, because 9 is bigger than 1. So I'm going to do 3 plus 2.8. Hold on. Not 3. 1 plus 2.8 is 3.8, comma, negative 2 because the y value didn't change. And 1 minus 2.8 is negative 1.8, comma, negative 2 because the y value didn't change this time. Alright, so here's my center. We got 4, negative 2, and negative 2, negative 2, and 1, negative 1, and 1, negative 3, and the blue is my vertices. Right by my vertices, a little bit inward, red is my focus, foci, and if I can make my football shape, my oval, there is a graph of an ellipse with all of the stuff included as accurately as I can on an iPad. And the next lesson is where we will talk about the equations and finding the equations and switching them around.